Now that we have our 5th string tuned to G and our 6th string tuned to D, time to get started. I'll play through the first section slowly, then I'll talk you through it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 3rd finger and we're going to put it on the 5th string, 7th fret. That's now a D, just like our open D string. And then we're going to take our 1st finger and we're going to go to the 4th string, 5th fret and play G. The first set of notes are just D, G, 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 G. And the G's are going to alternate between the fretted G and the open G. Here we go. So D, G, 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 G. Now the next set of notes are A, B, and C. We're going to start with an A, and that's going to be the 7th fret of the 4th string. So you can let go of the 1st finger and you place down the 4th finger on the A. You play A, open B, then you're going to put your 1st finger down on C, 3rd string, 5th fret. And you're going to play C, and then B, A, B. Now when you play that open B, let go of everything and put your 4th finger down on the D, which is right here on the 3rd string, 7th fret. Now the next section begins with you holding this down. I'll play the next section through slowly, then I'll take you through that. The second section begins with us holding the 4th finger down, carried over from the end of the 1st section. And then we're going to reach out and we're going to play 2 D 8th notes, which are on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Then we're going to play C on the 3rd string. So you're going to let go of the 4th finger on the D. And then while those are held down, you're going to reach out with the 4th finger and you're going to play that A that we were using from the 1st section on the 7th fret of the 4th string. Then we're going to play 2 more A's. We're going to reach out to the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then back to the A on the 4th string. From here, we go to an open B, and then C. Then we move into 2nd position for several 8th notes, B, A, G, A. Just keep your fingers down across those 3 strings, and then we end this second section with a quarter note B, and then finally a half note A. So here's section 3 slow. Section 3 is all in 2nd position. It starts on beat 3 with 2 8th note C's. So 4th finger on the 5th fret of the 3rd string. Now the next measure starts with 8th notes again, and it's 8th notes throughout the measure. B, A, G, A, B, C. This is our same fingering as previously played. B, A, G, A, B, C. Now the next measure, we shift to quarter notes and we play 2 Ds. So 3rd fret of the 2nd string, 2nd finger here. Then that measure ends on beat 3 with 2 8th notes, D to C. then back to quarter notes for B, open G, open B, A. Now here's section 4 slow. Section 4 begins on beat 3 again with G and A, 2 eighth notes. G, 4th finger, 1st finger A on the 3rd string, and then the next measure begins with a half note, open B. From here, we're going to shift up to 4th position, and we're going to play A on the 4th string, 7th fret, 4th finger, followed by an open B, and those are eighth notes as well. Then we head on to the next measure, and we're going to play quarter notes. C, C, our familiar 3rd string, 5th fret. From there, we're going to play the open B string, and then we play the A again, open G. Now we're going to use the 1st finger, 4th fret of the 4th string, and then the melody ends with the open 3rd string, G, and at the same time I'm going to play the open G, 5th string, and the open D, 4th string. So the last bit, that little F sharp to G with the chord, is this. This concludes the first half of my arrangement. As you get more and more familiar with the campanella fingering, you can then begin to experiment with how long you can hold down each note to really get the full effect of the campanella fingering. Now in the second half, we don't use the campanella fingering. The second time through, I play the melody up an octave with simple bass note accompaniment. We're in the 7th position, mostly playing G, A, B, C, D. With 1 F sharp and 1 D to get us started. I'll play this 5th section slowly and then take you through it. So we begin with a D played on the 3rd string at the 7th fret with the 1st finger. And then the next melody note is a G, and we're going to add in a chord accompaniment. So we're going to play the 5th string open G, the 4th string open D, and the 3rd string open G, with the 2nd finger on the 2nd string playing the G. Now that's followed by 2 more Gs, and then another G, which begins the next measure, and you're going to add a G in the bass, 5th string. And we slur to A. Then we're going to play B. Then in the next measure, on beat 1, we're going to play a D in the bass, and we're going to slur from C to B. Down to A. And then we're going to play B with a G in the bass. And then section 5 ends with a 4th finger note on D. Section 4 begins with 2 D eighth notes. I'm using my 4th finger on the 10th fret of the 1st string. And those are on beat 3. So the next measure begins with a C, 2nd finger, and a D bass note, 4th string. It's a quarter note, and it's followed by 2 more quarter notes, A's on the 2nd string 10th fret. The next measure then is 3 more quarter notes. You've got another D in the bass with an A, then a B, C on the 1st string. Then we have a bunch of 8th notes, and we're going to play with our low G 5th string. So we have B, A, G, A, B. We're going to slur from the G to the A there. And then the B is beat 3, and it's a quarter note. Then this section ends with an A melody note and a D bass note. Here's section 7 slow. Section 7 begins with 2 8th note C's on beat 3. They're played with the 2nd finger on the 8th fret of the 1st string. Now the next measure is B, A, G, A, B, C, all 8th notes, and you have a G on the 1st beat in the bass. So B, A, G, slur to A, slur from B to C. The next measure has a D in the bass and a D in the melody for the 1st quarter note, followed by another D in the melody, quarter note. Then 2 8ths complete the measure. Then we have quarter notes for the next measure with a G in the bass. B, G, B, and the section ends with a D in the bass and an A in the melody. Here's section 8, slow. Section 8 begins again on the 3rd beat with 2 8th notes. This time we're on the 2nd string, slurring from G to A. That's 2nd finger to 4th finger, frets 8 to 10. The next measure begins with a B melody note for 2 beats, a half note, with a G in the bass. On beat 3 you have 2 8th notes, an A and a B, 4th finger 2nd string here, to 1st finger B. Then the next measure is 3 quarter notes, 2 C's, followed by a B, all on the 1st string, and you have a D in the bass on the 1st of those. Then we're going to play an A in the next measure, 1st beat, 4th finger on the 2nd string, 10th fret, and we finally get to use our 6th string tuned down to D, followed by a quarter note G and a quarter note F sharp. We finally get to use our 1st finger to play F sharp as well. Then the piece ends with a G melody note supported by the 5th string open, the 4th string open D, and the 3rd string G. So G, D, G, and then your melody note, G. And I like to roll this. I don't play this all as one chord. I roll it with special emphasis on the final note G. I hope you enjoy playing this. Thank you very much for listening. And again, happy holidays.